Good morning to everyone. Several years ago, a priest from the Philippines visited us in our mission area. We brought him to different interesting places in the area. When we were having a break at a coffee shop, another companion of mine offered him a cigarette, knowing that he used to smoke. He said that he stopped smoking some years ago, but my companion requested him politely that he would just take one stick and smoke. I was amazed with the reply that he gave to my companion. He said, based on his experience, it does not take a pack of cigarettes, but just one stick to get back to smoking. It all begins with a stick of cigarette. Therefore, he said that it is better to avoid it totally so that he won't be tempted to smoke again. The parable of a mustard seed teaches us that an act that we do at a particular moment could be very tiny and insignificant, but it can make a great impact in our lives, especially if we add all the tiny acts that we do in the course of time. It is very important that we do self-examination to determine to see whether in our actions we are nurturing a good seed or an evil seed. The gospel also reminds us that it is a lot easier to uproot a bad habit at the early stage than wait until the habit is already ingrained in us. The best advice we can get from the gospel is that we should always be on guard not to give any chance to anyone to sow an evil seed in us. The good or bad habits that we have at present is the result of repeating an act over the course of time, and it forms habits in us. Usually, a habit begins with a tiny act which we keep doing it again and again. Like the parable of the mustard seed, when a tiny seed is nurtured, it can grow big and can give benefits to others. On the other hand, we should be very careful not to nurture the seed of evil, which can give harm to others and to ourselves as well. Just like a glass of wine, a stick of cigarette could not mean anything to so many people, but for some, it may lead them to addiction if they are not careful and not aware of what they are doing. The parable of the wheat and wheat reminds us that even though we are created good, it is the fact that the enemy of God, the devil, has sown the seed of evil within us. It is quite amazing to observe in ourselves that we do have both the inclination to do good and the inclination to do evil. Someone once said, "Please don't ask me to try to be good, while I don't even have the intention or the desire to become a good person." There are some people who enjoy so much in doing what is evil. I would say that their inner selves is so much influenced by the forces of evil and find satisfaction and happiness in doing evil. On the other hand, there are so many people who follow the will of God and enjoy doing what is good for them and for the sake of others. Whether we enjoy doing good or doing evil will depend on the kind of inner disposition we have developed in time. A good question worth asking ourselves is, are we filled with joy and happiness in doing what is good, or instead we do find joy in doing what is evil? Lastly, the gospel also gives us a lesson that in every act that we do does affect other people around us. We may think that a particular act that we do is a personal one and people around us have nothing to do with our lives. Just like the parable, uprooting the unwanted weed could affect to the wheat that is grown along with the weed, and in everything that we do, the effect is being felt by the people around us. As we celebrate this Eucharist, let's pray to God that He will give us the grace to protect ourselves from evil seed being sown in us. At the same time, also, we may learn to nurture the good seed sown in us and be able to produce benefits to the people around us.